This is everything you need to know about Update 51 in Bloons TD 6. The main feature of the update is the bomb shooter's Ballistic Obliteration Missile Bunker Paragon. This Paragon attacks really slowly and is a combination of all tier 5 bomb shooters in one. Whenever it attacks, it has the cluster bombs which do a lot more damage. It also knocks back and stuns balloons, including mob class balloons. It has the Millipat's ability, which works a little bit differently. When you click it, it swipes the track and it follows balloons along, which is quite nice. And it also has the Bomb Blitz passive ability, which is a lot stronger but also looks a lot cooler than the tier 5. Now we're going to be doing a deep dive into the bomb shooter Paragon, including the degree 100 test, so if you guys don't want to miss that video, make sure you subscribe to your channel. Now there's also a brand new map called 3 Mines Round, and this map changes chimps mode forever. So you guys might be noticing these gold chunks which are scattered around the map, and these are actually really interesting in the way that they work. You can click on all these gold chunks and then you're going to get a pop-up saying that you can remove the gold chunk for a certain amount of cash. It's going to get removed in a certain amount of rounds and it's going to give you extra money. And the best thing is that this works in chimps mode. In fact, the numbers actually get quite insane. For example, you can remove this thing for 50 and you get 72k back, but this gold deposit right here in the bottom right corner is removable for 100k and gives you 160. So what this means is that chimps mode has been changed forever, because now we're going to be able to afford things that we previously never would. There is also a brand new open skin, which is a collaboration between BT6 and Matches of the Universe, and this is, in my opinion, the coolest open skin that currently exists. So while we're at it, let me show you guys how all of these abilities look like. You guys can see the brambles, the Nature's War totem, and then this is the wall of trees. Pretty neat. Now in the store, you guys are going to find the premium Skeletor Prestige pack, which contains the Skeletor skin for Oben. It contains 30 Havoc staff powers, which is the brand new power in BT6. It has an exclusive and limited edition avatar and banner, along with a couple of insta monkeys. If you guys are planning on buying the Skeletor pack and the Oben skin, please don't forget to use code EthanReed in the Bloons store. It really helps out the channel. Now there are a lot of balance changes, so let's get into this thing early. So first off, the Bomb Blitz's passive ability can now destroy the balloon that leaks if the damage is enough to fully pop it, and this is crazy good because now, as you guys are noticing, we have 1 life and we're supposed to lose if this camera red leaks, but look at what's gonna happen. We're still gonna have 1 life and the Bomb Blitz passive ability is going to get triggered. That is really good. The Super Maelstrom's main attack now does extra damage to ceramics, and this works for the ability. So I'm gonna send a couple of round 98 ceramics, and if you use the ability, you guys are gonna see that this thing is completely demolishing them. So it's gonna be interesting to try it out as an attacker for once and not just rely on the ability. Now what Ninja Q is trying to do with the Super Brill is that they're trying to make this thing into an attacker. So now its main attack cooldown is getting reduced from 1.8 to 1.2 seconds. Its damage is getting increased from 1 to 5. It gains bonus ceramic damage, and the ice shard damage is getting increased from 5 to 10. So now, not only is this a damage amplifying tower, but it packs the punch by itself. On the other hand, the Absolute Zero is getting a little bit of a nerf, with its price getting increased from 16 to 19,000, and now the secondary Global Freeze attack can no longer freeze camel, lead, or white balloons without buffs, as you guys can see that thing happening here onto these zebras. The Moab Glue is getting yet another nerf. The slow duration for Moab class balloons is going down from 12 to 9 seconds, and this is in addition to the nerf that happened to the last update. Actually, they're really trying to bring this tower down a little bit, but the slow duration goes back to 12 seconds if you purchase the Relentless Glue. I think this is one of the coolest changes ever, and I'm not sure why this tower didn't get added in the game exactly like this, but the Blazing Sun has had its damage type changed from sharp to normal, and what this means is that it pops lead balloons. Yup, that is so cool now, and this guy is becoming so much stronger, so much more viable, especially because he has innate camo detection, and I really cannot wait to try this guy out as soon as possible, so stick around for that video. The Ballistic Desperado is getting buffed a lot, actually. The Avenger price is getting reduced from 9.5 to 8.5. The Desert Phantom's Buckshot gets a Moab bonus increase from 10 to 20. The Burn damage over time gets a bonus to ceramics of plus 10 damage, and the AoE explosion bonus to ceramics is getting increased from 5 to 15. So yet another tower that we really should try out. There are some changes happening to the subs, where the 5XX Energizer's cooldown reduction buff goes from 50 to 40%, so a little bit weaker. But then look at this thing, the Preemptive Strike's ability damage is going from 10 to 20k, with the Preemptive Strike ability AoE going from 350 to 1000. So if we launch the ability, 21k, that is a lot of damage actually, especially versus the Bad Balloon around 100, right? When it comes to the Spectre and the Flying Fortress, Ninja Q Kiwi is trying a new approach. The darts are going to be the single target damage, while the bombs are going to be the AoE cleanup. So in that sense, this is the changelog, which is basically meant to do exactly that. Some pierce reduction onto the darts, but then their damage is getting increased, and all that while the ceramic damage to the bombs is getting increased a little bit. Now, the best tower in BT6 in the last update was the Moab Shove Heli, and don't get me wrong, it's not going to be bad either, but it's now that Ninja Kiwi is trying to nerf it by reducing the shove pushback versus ZOMGs by a little bit. If you want to get some more slows, you are actually going to have to buy either the Comanche defense or just go all out for the Comanche commander. As you guys can see, these guys can actually almost fully stop the ZOMG now. Now, as you guys know, the Wizard Paragon, the Magus Perfectus, is quite insane, especially in combination with the Overclock NG. So what Ninja Kiwi is doing is they're increasing the price of this Paragon by a tiny amount. It's going from 750 to 800k. However, it's not only nerfs down the line, because the Phoenix Rebirth ability is getting stronger with its DPS getting increased, along with extra damage being done now by the summoned ZOMGs and BFBs. The Ninja Paragon is getting an interesting change, where the sticky projectile is now not getting thrown around as often, but the shurikens now do extra damage versus sticky targets. The mermonkey is getting some huge changes. First things first, the range increase if you place it in water goes from 25 to 35%, so a lot of extra starting range. And then going for the millipede, this is the biggest winner, with the price of the Riptide Champion getting reduced from 2.3 to 1.9k. A lot of extra pierce going from 18 to 25, along with buffs to the Arctic Knight Ice Jet ability. Poseidon is also a lot cheaper, from 52 to 48,000, and the full screen freeze on the ability along with the bonus damage to Frozen are getting improved. Because the NG Paragon is quite meta and quite strong, actually thanks to its overclock ability, it is actually getting a little bit weaker, with the main nail attack rate getting increased from 1 second to 1.5 seconds, while the Paragon range is getting reduced from 70 to 60. Now onto the heroes. I'm gonna start with Oben, because Oben now gives a lot of extra cash for all of these middle path druids, and actually the numbers are starting to get ridiculous. It went from 35 to 50%. Now, is druid farming back? Is it gonna be the new meta? I've absolutely no idea, but this sounds very, very interesting to try out. Striker Jones is now attacking a little bit slower on all levels. This is because they recently gave him a lot of extra damage, so now they're trying to balance it out by reducing his attack speed. And basically, if there was any hero deserving of nerfs, it was going to be Silas, because at release he was quite insane, so now they're scaling him back. Among the changes, you guys are gonna notice a little bit less bonus damage to Frozen Bloons, some explosion damage getting reduced on the Rhyme, which went from 20 to 15, the Ice Wall's cooldown is getting increased from 5 to 7 seconds, then the freeze duration buff is getting reduced from 200 to 150%. Finally, we're ending it off with some boss balances, where Phase is actually getting nerfed a little bit. A lot of health nerfs, actually, both on the normal and the elite phase, and Blast the Populace as well is getting nerfed, because apparently he's a little bit too strong. So now the stun from the fireballs is getting reduced. The duration is going from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds for tiers 1 to 3, and then 3 to 2 seconds for tiers 4 and 5. So those are the main changes in update 51 in BT6. We're going to be making videos on every single one of these changes, plus more. So if you guys want to catch those videos, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching this video, and I'm going to see you all in the next one.